Over to see me at Mar-a-Lago. Sir, I will never run against you. She brought her husband. Where's her husband? Oh, he's away. He's away. What happened to her husband? What happened to her husband? Where is he? He's gone. He knew.
That was Donald Trump attacking Michael Haley, the husband of Nikki Haley. Michael Haley is currently deployed with the National Guard in Africa. Donald Trump attacking a member of the military once again and trying to also spread unhinged and deranged conspiracies that he gets served from people like Lauren Loomer and others who he surrounds himself with, who are the leaders in the modern day Republican Party. Nikki Haley responded to Donald Trump's statement, and she said, "Michael Haley is deployed, serving our country, something you know nothing about. Someone who continually disrespects the sacrifices of military families has no business being commander-in-chief." And Donald Trump's up there. He's an adjudicated rapist, and he was recently found liable in a defamation case filed by his rape victim, and a jury awarded E. Jean Carroll $83.3 million. Further, Melania Trump, who, when she gave birth to her and Donald Trump's first son, Donald Trump was having sex with a porn star, and he's now involved in a hush money payment case involving a transaction regarding the situation with Stormy Daniels, whatever you even want to call that. But Donald Trump is saying, where is Nikki Haley's husband, when Melania Trump has been MIA, absolutely kind of nowhere to be found at all. Meanwhile, she's billing the political action committee of Donald Trump about $300,000 or so. So Trump's donors that the Trump family grifts off of, paying more than $300,000 for Melania's hair and makeup and stylist. So if you want to know, like, what's Donald Trump talking about there? Like, what is he implying? Well, you got to know who he surrounds himself with. Who are the leaders of the modern day Republican Party? So sad, so tragic, but this is the state of the Republican Party. Laura Loomer, who Donald Trump is very, very close with, she's been spreading these heinous rumors and has been taunting Nikki Haley's child. She's been taunting Nikki Haley's son, and his name is Nayland Haley. He writes, "We do a little trolling." It's called "We Do a Little Trolling." So just a fun message by Nikki Haley's son. Laura Loomer responds to Nikki Haley's son and said, "Is that what you also called it when your mom slept with multiple men and cheated on your father? Is that what Nikki Haley was doing when she was a promiscuous woman, named you her son, Nayland Haley? Were you conceived in the back of a Cadillac too, at Nayland Haley?" And Laura Loomer posts all of these articles on a frequent basis, alleging that Nikki Haley's engaged in, I don't even want to even say, it's just horrendous stuff. But here's what Laura Loomer also says, so we know that we're dealing with an unhinged conspiracy theorist. Before the Iowa caucus, Laura Loomer said, "Is the deep state activating to disrupt the Iowa caucus? We all know that Nikki Haley has a lot of friends in the defense industry and military-industrial complex. She's losing in Iowa, and now Iowa is set to get hit with a once-in-a-decade blizzard." And so she's saying, is the deep state government controlling the weather to create a blizzard in Iowa to help Nikki Haley? That's just who Donald Trump surrounds himself with. That's what Donald Trump was implying there. It's probably obvious. And by the way, here's Donald Trump sitting next to Laura Loomer saying how great she is. Play this clip.
Hey everybody, we're here at Bedminster. I'm with the greatest president ever, President Donald Trump, who is killing it right now. There's a new poll out, right? You're crushing it. You're up over 50 points. And it's a beautiful day here. Beautiful club. It's my first time here at Bedminster.
Well, it's great to have you, and you've been really very special. You work hard, and you are a very opinionated lady. I have to tell you that, and in my opinion, I like that.
Well, I appreciate that.
all of your support, and you've been terrific, and everybody appreciates your support.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me to sit with you today. It's a pleasure. You're the best. I love you.
By the way, in that same speech where Donald Trump attacked Nikki Haley's husband, who again is deployed, he's on duty with the National Guard in Africa. His think his service will end sometime. I believe it's this summer, but he's there right now defending our democracy. And again, Donald Trump attacks him. Here is Donald Trump also saying that a so-called big country went to him and said, if he claims the story was, if we don't pay our bill, to NATO, and we get attacked by Russia, will you let Russia attack us? And Trump says, in the speech, he goes, I told that big country, and again, Trump makes up these stories, but in Trump's story, though, he says, I'll let Russia do whatever they want with you, and they could destroy you, big NATO country. Here, play this clip of Trump.
They asked me that question. One of the presidents of a big country stood up and said, well, sir, if we don't pay and we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? I said, you didn't pay? You're delinquent? He said, yes, let's say that happened. No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want. You got to pay. You got to pay your bills.
And of course, Donald Trump has a history of attacking veterans, a history of attacking service members. Donald Trump called troops who died in war suckers and losers. That was his comment at a military cemetery, that these are suckers and losers, he said. Here's Donald Trump in his own words attacking the late John McCain. And this is when Donald Trump was running for office, and he attacked then Senator McCain. Here, play this clip.
He hit me. He's not a war hero.
He's a war hero.
He's a war hero.
5.5 years.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay? I hate to tell you.
Do you agree with that?
And again, if you want to see how far the Republican Party has fallen, you have Donald Trump, who basically gives the microphone to Laura Loomer, to every conspiracy theorist, steps on stage and spreads the most unhinged and vile filth. And then you actually had Senator McCain, a man of dignity, who, is someone I may disagree with on some policies, but definitely a man of dignity. Remember when Senator McCain was running for the presidency and this happened? Play the clip.
I can't trust Obama. I have read about him, and he's an Arab. He is not. No,
ma'am. He's a decent family man, citizen that I just happen to have disagreements with on fundamental issues, and that's what this campaign is all about. He's not. Thank you.
So compare that to Donald Trump's speech in South Carolina.
Or sometimes I'll interchange. I'll say by Barack Hussein Obama. Barack Hussein. But every time I say that, the fake news, that's a lot of fake news back there. The fake news. Every time I say it, anytime I want to have a little fun, Governor, we have fun sometimes, even though the country's going to hell, we have to have a little bit of fun. But every time I interchange Barack Hussein Obama, remember Rush Limbaugh? He'd go, Barack Hussein Obama. I wonder what he was getting at. But every time I do interchanging, we do a little interchanging, they say, he doesn't know who the president is. He thinks it's Barack Obama. I say, no, but I think Barack Obama has a lot to do with running the country right now, and we can't let that happen. He has a lot to do with it.
I think that puts it in very stark contrast right there. Here's Donald Trump attacking the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley. Play the clip.
We take every little tent. We take all the big tents. We take the Army tanks, the planes. We take everything. And I had a couple of guys, like this guy Milley. What a stupid person he is. Milley, no, he's a stupid. Sir, he said to me, it's cheaper to leave the equipment than it is to take it.
Here's what former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, had to say upon his retirement about our system of government and structure of government and the role of the presidency vis-a-vis the military. Play the clip.
We don't take an oath to a king or a queen or to a tyrant or a dictator, and we don't take an oath to a wannabe dictator. We don't take an oath to an individual. We take an oath to the Constitution, and we take an oath to the idea that it's America, and we're willing to die to protect it. Every soldier, sailor, airman, Marine, Guardian, and Coast Guardsmen, each of us commits our very life to protect and defend that document, regardless of personal price.
So then Donald Trump wrote and responded to that he said that the conduct by General Mark Milley is so egregious that in times gone by, the punishment would have been death. Essentially, Donald Trump engaging in a death threat against former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley. And while predictably, the legacy media doesn't cover any of this stuff because legacy media is rooting on fascism. It's as despicable as you get. You saw Donald Trump speak. Let's just compare it to a standard speech given by President Biden. And here President Biden confronts Donald Trump, threatening the execution of the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley. Play the clip.
Accusations of treason against the major news network because they don't like his coverage. I don't know what the hell I'd say about Fox if that becomes the rule. But think about it. I'm joking, but think about it. Tomorrow, I have the honor of overseeing the change of responsibilities of the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the United States military. From one genuine hero and patriot, General Mark Milley, to another, General C.Q. Brown. Both defining leaders of our time. And yet, here is what you hear from MAGA extremists about the retiring patriot general honoring his oath to the Constitution. Quote, he's a traitor, end of quote. In times gone by, the punishment, quote, in times gone by, the punishment would have been death, end of quote. This is the United States of America. This is the United States of America. And although I don't believe even a majority of Republicans think that, the silence is deafening. The silence is deafening. Hardly any Republican called out such heinous statements. Just as they watched one MAGA senator outrageously said blocking the promotions of hundreds of top military leaders and affecting not only those leaders but their families, their children. MAGA extremists claim support of our troops, but they're harming military readiness, leadership, troop morale, freezing pay, freezing military families in limbo. Just as they looked the other way when the defeated former president refused to pay respects at an American cemetery near Paris, referring to the American servicemen buried there, and I've been to the cemetery, as suckers and losers. Quotes. I'm not making this up. I know we all tried not to remember it, but that's what he said. He called servicemen suckers.
Here, by the way, is Donald Trump's own former defense secretary, Esper. Here's what he has to say about Donald Trump. Play the clip.
I mean, look, with regard to the broader issue, I never felt that Donald Trump understood the importance and virtue of military service, of committing yourself to service in uniform to defend your country and your fellow Americans. It's just not something he understands or appreciated. So maybe some of that's in there, but this doesn't make much sense.
Here's what Nikki Haley had to say about Donald Trump attacking her husband. Play the clip.
Donald Trump had a rally today. And in that rally, he mocked my husband's military service. And I'll say this. Donald, if you have something to say, don't say it behind my back. Get on a debate stage and say it to my face. If you mock the service of a combat veteran, you don't deserve a driver's license, let alone being president of the United States.
And here's retired Lieutenant General Ben Hodges when I interviewed him. Here's what he had to say about Donald Trump. Play the clip.
The thing that really pushed me over the edge on Mr. Trump was when I heard him talking about my generals and my judges, as if we were some third world country that the judges and generals and other authorities all owed their fealty to whoever the dictator was. And I just can't imagine that the founding fathers intended that, the president would have this kind of personal control over generals. But that's obviously how Mr. Trump thinks, and it's reprehensible.
Folks, we can't look at these speeches by Donald Trump and normalize them. We can't look at these speeches of Donald Trump and pretend that they're not happening, or pretend that that's just a conservative thing. That's not a conservative thing. That's a MAGA thing, which is wannabe fascism plus idiocracy. It's MAGA. And I think it's important, we talk about this here at the MeidasTouch Network, for progressives, liberals, independents, people not affiliated with any political party, conservatives, mainstream Republicans who are not MAGA, that we unite. We need to talk about decency, compassion, normalcy. That's more important to me than, are you this team or are you that team? My journey in politics has led me ultimately to that conclusion, that it's not about picking a team, it's about normalcy and supporting our democracy. And it's important that we come together, because this MAGA threat is not, I know it's not mainstream Republican. I know it's not authentically conservative. And so it's important, progressives, liberals, independents, conservatives, mainstream, let's just get together. Let's make sure we focus on normalcy and decency and compassion and empathy and truly supporting our Constitution from this obvious massive threat that's confronting us by MAGA. I'm Ben Meiselas. This is the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million subscribers together by this summer. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.